All right, good morning, everyone. It's the Todd and Erin morning stream of Gephardt Daily.
Did you just throw your papers down?
I always do.
How are we going to do this show?
Chaotic, that's what I'm all about.
Yeah, you're a rebel. You'll never change.
Never going to change. All right, so let's talk about big stories coming up
A
today.
leering close-up of his nose pores, I think, would be ideal. Thank you.
Stop it. I'll do the finger thing.
Whatever.
Not the highlighter. Give me those highlighters.
Really?
All right, so let's get to it.
You're
All right.
disciplining me by taking my highlighter?
Yes, if you're a government worker, you might be... Get away from there.
All right.
You might be in trouble.
All right.
Your job is not as secure as you might think it is.
Now, chefs rule each state's most iconic food, so I'm so excited what they
Yeah,
think about Utah's. I bet it's going to be great.
And they're wrong. The Pope's driving a Lamborghini.
And we've got the world's best vacation hell. I mean, these are hotel hell spots that you're like, this can't actually exist.
This is where you want to send
they
your
can.
worst enemies.
Yeah, they can.
Just quick update on the drone that I found in my yard. Still have it.
Nobody's claimed it yet, the poor little drone.
Okay, well, it's going to stay right there. Used to be Frisbees on your roof. Now it's drones.
Okay, first we have to go serious because it's a little scary. If you've got your
Okay.
kid in daycare, it's time to terrify you.
Oh, I saw some of this.
Now, this is a big deal to me because, I mean, every parent, the minute you have kids, you remember every Fox special, with hidden cameras, and it just terrorizes you. But, it's actually probably a lot more at risk than you realize. Daycare providers here in Utah can have up to 15 violations per year
No.
before they're forced to close. 15 violations.
What?
Now, this is what's so scary. There was a state audit release this week. The Division of Family Health and Preparedness Child Care Licensee Program does not increase monitoring of providers who operate during the appeals process, meaning there are people who have had documented cases of abuse in their daycare center of their children, the children under their charge.
Right.
And that is all put on hold because they get an appeals process of up to 90 days.
The kids still go?
That's it. Nobody knows about this. None of the other parents would know that anything had happened because they get to stay open for an appeals process of up to 3 months. So even though you may have had a documented case of abuse and you don't know about it and you're sending your child to this center because they're appealing the process.
Can you call that agency and find out? I mean, there must be a list someplace of violations.
This is the thing, though. I'm not sure that they can release it during the appeals process. And if you take a look at the graph, we've got the longest appeals process in like the entire West.
Like, what are we talking?
Well, if you guys have the graph, I mean, look at that. Like Arizona, you've got like 10 days to file
Right.
an appeal. Up to 28 in Idaho, which I still don't approve of. Here in Utah, you just need to file for the appeal within 30 days, and you have a full 90 days to go through the appeals process. That's 3 months after you have documented abusing a child in your care that you're still allowed to operate without people knowing.
That's crazy.
Which to me is like the most, really terrifying thing. There was one incident where the agency took no action after receiving a report of a child confined in a porta-crib covered with a trampoline inside the laundry room.
Don't start.
Despite that the home-based care center had received 14 cited findings and 16 repeat cited findings of the most severe levels of violation. And this is over a 4-year
Wow.
period, and they're still operating.
Do you have a name?
Unfortunately, they would not give that. So here's the deal. They say that there's a couple of things that you can do. Number one, obviously, go and check with the licensing board and make sure you go through everything. See if you've got any information. Number two, they say go do a criminal background check on the caregivers, the heads of the direct caregivers at the care center.
Because if they had a violation,
Or if
they're prosecuted.
Yeah, but many times they still have a criminal record and they can still apply for a child care license.
Okay.
So, and they say drop in at unannounced times. Anyone who says, no, we don't want you dropping in.
Drop in.
Without letting me know.
Drop in a lot.
No, you should be able to come in at any time and be able to oversee anything that's going on. And if they resist that, then they say don't.
Talk
Back
to the
out,
other
leave.
parents. Talk to the other parents, too.
Take a
When
look
you
at the
see 'em.
kids. See
Just see,
their
hey,
demeanor.
how you
Yeah.
guys feeling about this? Anybody got a weird feel? Did you see anything?
I mean, this is like,
It's so hard to leave your kids anyway.
yeah, it's terrifying.
And go to work and stuff, and so you can provide for them. But
And there's a lot of cases where kids may not understand that was abusive or they were put in
Right.
danger. They may not understand that, so they wouldn't even be able to tell you. So anyway, I hate to terrorize you more, but I wanted to say this audit's saying we have a serious issue that is not being fixed. So
30 days, and then you get 90. That's
yeah,
crazy.
pretty much. All right, let's move on to the state's most iconic foods. Now, these are chefs all across the country.
This bothers me.
They had gone through all of the foods from all of the different states, our specialties, and certain things we're
This
good for. I'm sure,
bothers
like
me.
down in the South, barbecue. And so I was very excited to see what they had felt was really admirable from Utah. Do you want to go through some of the
Alaska,
others?
well, first of all, Alaska, reindeer sausage, cool stuff, seafood. And if anytime you're on the ocean, you're going to kick some butt,
Halibut,
right?
yeah.
And if you
Oh,
don't,
halibut and king
you're a
salmon.
loser.
And the king crab.
Oklahoma, barbecue.
Oh yeah, Midwest.
Fried chicken, kind of typical.
Yeah, Midwest.
Nevada,
Yeah.
expensive bad food at the
What about Virginia? That was my last home state.
Virginia. Go ahead, you read it right there.
Really, country ham? That's the only. No, the country hams.
See my
they
problem?
do those. They do those, and they cure them with salt so that it's like unrefrigerated meat, which has always traumatized me. When I lived there,
awesome.
it always felt weird.
cured.
And you have to dip it in water and let it sort of like fluff back up before you can consume it.
Hawaii, mix of all the different Polynesian, Asian foods, which is great. Massachusetts,
So unfair. Lobster.
clam chowder. Maine,
Not
lobster.
lobster. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fair.
And so the part that bothers me, and it's like Utah, it's like fry sauce and Jello.
Really? That's what you ruled for us as our iconic foods, is our fry sauce and our Jello.
That is just sad. You know what? That's a stereotype, and you're profiling.
You know what? Really?
And you know who makes the fry sauce?
Yeah, really.
Polygamists.
Yeah.
Throw that in the story.
Yeah, thank you for profiling us. That's really nice.
Yeah,
Thank
nice
you.
job.
Nice profiling. Really.
It's funny though. A lot of TV shows have been to Utah.
Yeah, tons. And we have so many great iconic foods and eateries here.
Red iguana,
Always a good one. Moochie's meatballs.
red crown burger.
Crown burger
It's-
always.
It's like a big deal to people coming here because
Is
you
the
put
pastrami on the crown burger?
pastrami on it. Pat's
so good.
Barbecue, Ruth's Diner,
Did you ever get a chance? Oh, Bruges waffles and frites. They're incredible.
Blue Plate Diner is a good one too.
Did you ever get a chance to go up the canyon and actually have Ruth wait on you at Ruth's Diner?
No.
She was the meanest, most awesome old lady ever. And she would walk through this is obviously before health regulations, but she'd walk through the restaurant with a cigarette hanging out of her mouth. Going, what are you going to want?
In a moon.
And she'd be writing it down, and there'd be like ash going down your tablecloth, and you're like, do whatever you want. I'm scared.
Tin Roof Grill. There's so many. If you want to look this, just go ahead and best places to eat in Utah, and there's a crazy list. And these are all the ones that have been on television.
So yeah, thanks a lot. And you're going to really leave us with they have
Jello. See how people
We
are?
try so hard to be cool.
We are cool.
We are cool, and no one will believe us. Our state is cool.
All right. What
All
else?
right. Continuing my man crush, which of course is Pope Francis.
Yes.
I love this man because he came in. He's an
I
extremely.
guess I'm safe there if you have a crush on him. Pretty much.
Man,
Yeah.
my man crushes him. So
Yeah.
no, but he came in. He's a brilliant man. He's extremely well educated. And the first thing he did was
Used to be a boxer.
I'm going to get rid of all the crap. So he got rid of the gigantic Easter eggs type Pope mobiles. He got rid of a lot of the expense. He refused to actually live in the Vatican.
In a cottage,
He
right?
lives in one of the guest houses behind it. But he was given a gift by Lamborghini.
Sorry, that was me.
That was painful.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. It's the Lamborghini Hurricane, which is the most.
Holy mackerel.
This thing starts at 200,000 pounds, and it's a heart-stoppingly beautiful car. And he looked at him and went, "Well, that's nice." And they done it in white with gold details.
So it looked
the
like
Vatican
him.
colors.
It looked like him in his robe.
And he went, "Oh, thank you." And he leaned over and signed the hood. And he goes, "Okay, we're going to auction this off." And they're like, and the Italian car makers are like, You're what? And he went, yeah, we're going to auction it off. Yeah. And they had forgotten, this is what he does all the time.
Right.
He had a Harley Davidson that was gifted to him in 2014, auctioned off for charity.
Right.
It was sold for almost $300,000, more than 10 times its usual price. So, I mean, this is the thing. He had an iPad once that he said they wanted to get him an upgrade, and he went, all right. So he signed it, and they auctioned it off for $30,000. So they're anticipating that the Hurricane is going to probably go for around $1.5 million. And he has 3 charities that are his favorite. One rebuilds homes and churches on the plains in Iraq where they had so much war. Right. Also, there's a couple where he helps sex trafficking victims and also victims of ISIS. Yeah. I mean, the man is amazing. But I just love the concept that the Italian car makers are like,
what? That would be one hell of a Pope-mobile.
Right?
Right?
He's got the top down. He's like, hey, what's up?
Oh, my gosh. How cool would that be?
I love this guy. I'm sorry.
Salt Lake City police are on the lookout, and they want your help on this.
Can you show the mud shot and just keep it up? Because this guy needs to be caught. He's such a... I was about to say a very bad word. He's known to frequent the Rio Grande neighborhood, and he's one of the people that literally made this living hell for everyone who's most at risk. He's one of the ones that would hurt them and steal from them and violate them. He is known for assaulting women. He's known for assaulting officers. His name's David Lawrence Simmons. He goes by the nickname Hulk. He's been charged repeatedly. He's 6 foot 3 inches tall, weighs about 230 pounds. He was rolling around on the ground and screaming last week, according to charging documents, then stood up and challenged several people to a fight. Now, when the officers finally arrived, he charged at the officers. The officer deployed his taser and it had no effect on him. So I'm guessing PCP or meth or something. But he punched out 2 officers, and it took like 5 or 6 to actually get him down.
Why are they looking for him? Don't they have him?
No, that's the trouble. He's come back. He's gotten out again because they were booking people and then they were releasing them almost as fast because they didn't have jail space.
Right.
And so his recent thing, aside from punching the officers, he also assaulted 2 women.
So you just call on this one. You don't intercede at all.
If you see this scumbag,
What's his name?
911 right now. Do it. They call him the Hulk, but his name is David Lawrence Simmons. It's like this is everything that they tried to clean up out of Rio Grande. This guy's the epitome of all of it. So let's keep an eye out. I would love to see him behind bars.
All right. Coming up, we got some information coming up with Daisy.
Yes, Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She's brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Look, bad things happen to good people, but they think that you can repair your credit and get a reliable automobile. Give Utah Credit Approval a call at 801-921-9819. Also by Brio Technologies. They are the experts in lighting, sound, and visual. These are the people that can bring your business to the next level. Go to brioaudiovisual.com. Also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. There's a $69 special. They'll come to your house and they'll make sure that your heater and your furnace and everything's all ready for winter. Just go to allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making headlines Friday, November 17th on GephardtDaily.com. Police are investigating an early morning home invasion that ended with 1 man hospitalized at Intermountain Medical Center in Murray. Unified police officers were called out about 3:30 a.m. Thursday after a 21-year-old male showed up with a gunshot wound at a Taylorsville ER. Investigators say the man was shot in the leg during a confrontation with 2 others who had forced their way into a home at 4917 Green Tree Way. The wounded man is reported in stable condition with non-life-threatening injuries. Salt Lake City police officials are searching for a woman who witnesses say stabbed her neighbor, then fled in a white SUV in the early hours of Wednesday morning. Salt Lake City Police Department said the suspect they are searching for is 23-year-old Diane Hernandez. The aggravated assault allegedly occurred in the area of 800 West Arapahoe Avenue just after 12:20 a.m. The victim was stabbed in the neck multiple times and transported to the hospital in serious but stable condition. Anyone with information about Hernandez's whereabouts is asked to call the SLCPD. And Utah is getting a new professional sports franchise, women's soccer. Real Salt Lake owner Delloy Hansen announced Thursday he has acquired FC Kansas City of the National Women's Soccer League. The team will play at Rio Tinto Stadium beginning next spring. And time now for our Wasatch Front weather report, brought to you by our wonderful new sponsors at Brio Technologies, Utah's tip-top audiovisual specialists. Make sure you have your winter wear out this weekend because it's going to be nippy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be in the mid to upper 40s, and there's a 90% chance of rain and maybe even snow Friday. Nighttime lows this weekend will be in the 20s. That's it for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to GephardtDaily.com. And for now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right, I got to tell you about John. I was hanging out with John the other day, and
All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Exactly, yeah. And so basically, he's getting busy right now. It's funny how people wait till the last minute. If you're one of them, maybe you need it inspected, your furnace inspected because of the weather, right? The weather. They're the people to call. I would put this in your phone because you never want to be 1 o'clock in the morning with no heat in your house, or you got water flowing someplace, and that's no time to shop for a plumber. All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. They're there. They're ready. First of all, they're licensed and they're contractors, and they've been approved in like 3 different fields. So if you need something done, they're doing a lot of remodels right now on bathrooms, making them really cool and handicap accessible. And so if you're looking for anything like that, call John or go online and get some more information. All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. That's allutahplumbing.com.
Okay, tell me something good. This is a gorgeous one, and you wanted to talk about it because you so love Elon Musk from Tesla.
All I have to say is one thing. and you will get a goosebump, at least one. What's the big highway in Germany?
The Autobahn?
That's the word.
There's no speed limit on the Autobahn.
No mandatory speed limit.
No speed limit.
None.
I mean, if you crash, you're paced. But for that brief, shining moment when you're sailing along.
You are free as a bird. There's people who actually take their cars because it's 4 lanes. I mean, it's huge, and it's made so there are no sharp turns in it and stuff. And you can like open up, and they have rules about it where it's like, hey, if you're not going 100 miles an hour, get in the right-hand lane. You get in the center lane. If you're not going that, you get in the right-hand lane. And if you're going slow, just get off. Just get off. So anyway, this guy's booking along in his Tesla. And he's like,
Tesla.
And there's this Volkswagen ahead of him. And he's like, okay, I'm cool. And the Volkswagen, though, is doing this. It's just weaving and going weird and stuff like that. He pulls up next to it, probably a little angry, but more now concerned because he sees what's going on. He looks over, and the guy is slumped over, and the car is still going, possibly
stroke or
cruise,
seizure
on
or
cruise control or something. And so the guy looks at it and he goes, okay. So he pulls out and he gets in front of him and he brakes. And the car comes up behind him and he keeps braking and braking and braking. And the back of his car is getting pounded. And he brakes and brakes and he pins him against a guardrail like this. And he jumps out and he runs around and he gets the engine off. Then he takes the guy out of the car. He gives him first aid. And then the ambulance and stuff shows up. And evidently he saved his life. And his car
is completely trashed.
$10,000 worth of damage.
The scooshed bit behind it, that's him.
$10,000, and which is a sad situation. But you know what? What did he do? He did the right thing. Then he got a notice from Elon Musk. He's the owner of Tesla, and he said, "Here, I'll let you read it right there."
Congrats to the Tesla owner who sacrificed damage to his own car to bring a car with an unconscious driver safely to a stop. He wrote this on Twitter, and he says, in appreciation, we would like to provide all the repair costs free of charge, and we'll expedite it to make sure you're taken care of.
Yes! You put that together with the word Autobahn.
Oh, it's funny. Marianne on Facebook says, we actually went and picked up our Mercedes there, and that was the first thing my husband insisted on doing, is hitting the Autobahn. I guess it's a tradition. If you get a car out of Germany, you're like, you got to take it on the Autobahn.
And I got to tell you, for the longest time, just to tell you how serious people in Germany are about driving, there are no cup holders. There were no cup holders in vehicles, and they thought that's like standing up and eating for the Italians. They're like, you drive. You don't.
You savages,
you don't
what is wrong with
drink
you?
And eat sandwiches and corn on the cob. You drive the stinking car. And so when they were forced to do it, they were really angry.
They were disgusted.
So they actually put it up near the sensor where the AC is, and so the hot coffee would set it off.
You're just mean-spirited.
It's the Germans. They've always been that way.
Well, they're serious about their things. All right, coming up, this is really interesting. What the world's most successful men do.
And we can do that and
every
become
night.
Successful.
Let's hope
every
so.
night.
Every night. We'll tell you next. Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Bad things happen to good people, helping you on the road to good credit with just the right car. Go to utahcreditapproval.com or call them at 801-404-7201. Also brought by Columbus Travel. Columbus Travel has an epic sale on cruises through the 21st of October. You can get a hotel and everything you can imagine just for less than the price you would of simple airfare. You have to talk to them first at columbusvacations.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin Morning Stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com.
Did you know you can buy a house with a 600 credit score?
Really?
We have lenders, we have programs, stuff that's come up in the last couple of years. 600.
Wouldn't you have to have like 50% down or something though?
Nope. 3.5%.
Where would you start the process on this?
Well, Fink and McGregor has a website, 4minutemortgage.com. Just go there, fill it out, up and running.
How long until you get back to us?
1 business day. Whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
Where do you get the down though if you're broke?
It can be a gift from family, relative, significant other, even your work.
Gift, huh?
Yeah.
You know what that makes me wish?
What?
Makes me wish I had friends with money.
At All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air, we have All Utah Plumbing Bugs. Check us out at allutahplumbing.com.
Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to Todd and Erin morning stream on GetPartDaily.com. Christopher giveaway. We need a winner.
Oh, this is important. Okay, Corinne A. Corinne A., congratulations. You and 3 of your favorite people are going to be going to Christopher's to have a wonderful night out. They have a new holiday menu, by the way, that's supposed to be fantastic.
Also catering, and they're setting up.
Oh, I didn't think of that, yeah.
And they're setting up, if you want your employees to love you and stay and work with you and not steal office supplies, this is what you need to do.
They have incredible holiday parties.
How do they do this?
So
How do
they
they
can
answer?
they can either cater for you, or you can actually have the amazing holiday parties there. They've got so many different areas that are really beautiful and private. Now, if you'd like to enter to win for dinner for 4, all you have to do is just comment on the show today. If you're watching on our Facebook page, Todd and Erin, or on Get Part Daily, Get Part Approved, just drop a comment. You're officially entered, and then next Friday, hopefully, like we just did with Corinne, we will be calling your name. Because it's that simple. Yeah, keep showing us close-ups.
Oh,
That's
the food.
that's nice. Look at the
All
onion
right,
rings. Those
let's
look terrible.
move on.
Yeah, those onion rings look horrible.
All right, so you were going to tell me about successful men. I would like to be a successful man.
Well, this is what successful men do every night.
Every night.
And my heart is swelling right now.
Wow.
For instance, Jeff Bezos, Amazon.com.
Yes.
Bill Gates, bazillionaire.
Bill Gates.
So basically the 2 wealthiest men in the world.
Right.
Yeah. And
Every night.
They say this has significant mental health benefits.
Both of them. Okay.
Yeah, in a 2014 interview, Bezos said that doing the dishes every night is part of his daily routine. He says, I do the dishes every night for the family. He's worth $95 billion. He says, I'm pretty convinced it's the sexiest thing I do, at least according to my wife. And then Bill Gates, who is now, of course, the second richest, says not only does he do it every night, he enjoys it. He said, you would think, someone asked him, what would you enjoy doing that no one would expect from you? He goes, I do the dishes every night. Other people volunteer, but I like the way that I do it. They said that one of the things that was is it reduces a lot of stress. They're in the warm water. They say, I'm smelling the soap. I'm thinking about the day. I'm kind of going through stuff in my mind. Right. And then they said, but they both said they come up with some of their best ideas because they're doing such a mundane chore that their brain's moving, but it's like they're doing like this soothing, repetitive motion. And they said it was really great.
It's like you mowing the lawn.
Yes.
Because you're never sexier. Well, sometimes you are.
So see, baby, there's a reason you should be doing it every single night.
I'm thinking though, if Bill Gates and he has a really busy day, and he gets back to his mansion, and you think he cooks? Do you think she cooks?
I think they have a cook, but
I think they have a cook.
It doesn't matter.
And let's say you're tired.
He's washing the dishes.
And you're not going to want to do a lot of dishes. Still going to do it, but you don't want, and the cook says, what do you want for dinner? You go grilled cheese sandwiches. That's it. Just.
You're always trying to think of a way around this, aren't you?
Well,
I was trying to give you an inspiring reason that you should be doing the dishes.
I do okay. He looks at her for approval. Doesn't get it. Moves on. I think that
there's a system in our house where disgusting greasy pans are filled with water and then placed to soak overnight. Sometimes overnight for as long as a week. I know because I've tried to see how long I could actually let it go before it killed me inside. Hey, you told a story about me cheating at Scrabble yesterday.
Yeah.
It's only fair.
It's true. At some point, I just give up.
All right, the neck tattoo. We have to talk about this because it's just so sad.
I think there's something to learn here.
Okay.
So there's a gentleman, and he is, his name is Joe Parsons, and he's 21 years old, and he got a tattoo on his neck. And the problem with the tattoo is it's on his neck, and now it's
super duper big on his neck.
And this is only part of it, okay, the other side too. But he can't get a job. And he used to do
because that's just the part on the back. There's a big
part. He did a retail job, and evidently was okay at it. And then he got
the big tattoo on the neck,
and he got let go. And we're all here's the weird thing. He got the tattoo because his grandmother died. Now you're going to have to go, oh, and it's true. And he really loved his granny. And so he did the choice for some reason on his neck. And now he says he can't find a job. We could be really critical at this point. But I will say this. At some point, like the sleeves, when people get full sleeves, or even whatever showing on your leg, and male or female get something, it's becoming more socially acceptable.
Yeah. Two of our nannies have had full sleeves.
Right. And so it doesn't, it's affecting, you're not going to be a banker, okay? It's just not going to happen. But it's getting more...
So you're saying what's the difference between having a sleeve and having a big neck tattoo?
No, I know the neck tattoo. I'm just saying where it's going is going to be like, it's going to be socially acceptable to have, like the Mike Tyson thing, At some point, it's going to be okay. The Mad Max thing, the Blade Runner look, it's going to be okay at some point. So it's really kind of interesting to see, like in the last 10 years, tattoos have become more socially acceptable. And so that's probably going to continue, except for the people who put words over their eyebrows, because that's just stupid.
Come on, guys.
They do this.
No.
It says, "Hi, Mom, forever yours." It's like, well, don't do that and grow big Russian eyebrows.
You're getting a snake on your face. It's like, let's just admit you don't want to work in the mainstream industry. Okay?
And you know what?
That's okay.
JetBlue.
But just don't be all disappointed when they go, "Hey, you got a snake on your face. I don't feel like I can hire you as my..."
Right. and so that's what I'm saying. There's JetBlue. You work at home, and a lot of moms and dads do it who work at home so they can be with their kids and they still make money.
You can have a snake on your face if you want to.
I think it's important that you actually put the beach up again. Because of the weather today. This is in celebration of our
This is the first real snow we've seen on the valley floor, isn't it?
Yeah, and what's to come, I think, is what we're talking about.
I remember yesterday when it's 60 degrees and there was this beautiful warm wind going through the valley.
And those leaves you didn't pick up
all over.
were flying around.
Or more importantly, the leaves your neighbors didn't pick up, and you did.
Right.
I can't believe how many piles I counted going through the neighborhood. It was so funny. If people do that thing there where they rake them all up and they're like, they're in a pile. I'll just get that in a minute, and they never come back.
Just like the pots on the stove soaking. See how it works? When I was a kid, we got to burn the leaves, and it was like my favorite thing because I didn't have to carry them into the woods. We would light them on fire, and that smell. Whenever I smell that smell,
that is pretty cool.
It is just like one of those things, like a campfire.
You were from Massachusetts, where
we didn't care.
You had forests and stuff. We didn't have those things here, so it's not the same.
Well, we also lived in the woods, Now,
do you have the story about the bikes talking to the self-driving
You're
cars?
going to love this story.
Hit me.
Erin has a thing about bikes sometimes blazing through four-way stops. Am I correct?
Well, no, it's like everybody should follow the same rules, and they go, well, there's other people that run stop signs, and I'm like, they're not the ones on a bike with no steel enclosure I would think you would want to live.
And on a bicycle, may I say, we live on a very steep hill, and on a bicycle, the amount of rubber that's in contact with the road is less than this. Here's the front, here's the back.
I'll actually meet up with them and go, I'm a mother. You have to go put on a helmet and some pads because you're killing me here.
So
and they're looking at me like, what is wrong with them? I'm like,
you're going 35 miles an hour. I sound like a dad, don't I?
Well, we are parents, though, because you look at them and it's like,
realized.
please go put on a helmet. And
They had when they had that race here, the bike race. They did this 14-minute loop, and they came back up above the city cemetery, and they came down. What's that other road they came down? Virginia.
Virginia.
That's
yeah.
Right. That's the one. And they came down, and they were 2 feet away from each other, and they were screaming.
300 miles an hour.
And they had actually marked with paint like little potholes, so they wouldn't hit them. And they go screaming down, and I couldn't watch it because I'm just like,
it's too stressful. I know.
And anyway, so
no, you're right. It was so scary.
So the reason I'm going to love this is that Google is working on their self-driving cars.
Because see, that's the thing that I'm also scared of. Because right now, the self-driving cars do not recognize bikes. So you might have this perfectly innocent bike rider who is minding his own business, wearing his helmet, thank you very much, who is attempting to ride along, and the self-driving car might turn right into him, not seeing him there as part of the technology.
Well, what they've done is they've developed the car that actually does, and the Google
Really?
cars are a little bit different than some of the other different ways to do this. 45,000 people were injured being hit by cars.
Yeah.
They got to do something about that.
Oh, that
look.
one's so
That
tiny, though.
looks
It's hard to think
looks
it do
like
anything.
Looks like a Tonka.
It's precious.
So basically, what they did is this is a funny part. The developers went to Google and they said, "Hey, we're going to have lunch. Everybody get on a bike," and they had them pedal all around the campus. Meanwhile, these self-driving cars were out there because they were testing it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Real humans, and they're out there testing it. So anyway, the cars are tough. One nice thing about cars is they're non-emotional, and they're patient. Now the rule is most states you have to give 3 feet of leeway, and so if you're on a 2-lane road like this and there's a bike there, until he can get over or there's a clearing,
The
that you
self-driving car is going
will
to
sit there.
saunter, yeah.
It will just sit with you, and it won't get mad, and it will just wait. And hopefully bicycles will eventually talk back to the cars.
They'll have the same technology or some kind of chip where they'll be able to communicate.
And they had on this test track, they had bicyclists swarm the vehicle.
I'm not sure who to feel sorrier for in this scenario.
You get killed in Google parking lot. But anyway,
That's
so
so
that
funny.
I thought you'd like that. And so
I do. That makes me very happy.
What this is working towards is the fact that bicycles are unpredictable. They're unpredictable. Where a car most likely is going to stop at a stop sign as opposed to a bike shooting through. So they have to compensate for that. And this is just another thing that they're working on. People in the crosswalks, crazy bicyclists, skateboards.
That's so cool.
Anyway.
No, that makes me so happy. That's
I like the
amazing.
fact that we volunteer our workers to drive
Sure,
around in front of a
whatever.
car with no driver in it.
Well, everyone loves Google. They're happy there. I might die happy too.
You're going to tell me about the
Hot-
worst.
Hotel hell.
This is where you want to give a stay for people you hate.
Now everybody has one of these horror stories. Remember that one lodge? It was at the Viking Lodge.
In
That
Heber?
had the heater that had an open flame, and you would lie there in bed and stare at it, and it would burst into flame inside the thing. It's this thin little grate, and you're like, "It's gonna set me on fire." Isn't it?
But we were at the Viking Lodge.
Yeah. They've got some really good ones. They had a whole group of students up at the U talk about some of their worst experiences ever, and they started sharing pictures. There was this one where the guy went into, and it said that it had a city view. We'll start with this one. This is actually a Utah ski resort lodge.
What's up with that?
You'll notice that it says exit super helpfully, and that the door is
This is on the inside.
frozen shut inside.
That's the outside?
That's the inside of the building.
What?
That's the inside of the building.
Well, at least you don't have to go get ice.
Yeah, I guess there's that. Okay. Number 2, this guy paid for a view room. He wanted a window, and he got one.
Oh my gosh. This is like the realtor when we went and they said this house we were looking at, and they said it has a temple view, and you'd have to open the window and stick your head out about 3 feet, and you could see Moroni about his head.
Oh, see, there's temple view. Okay, this one is my personal favorite. This was a guy who had gone on a English language trip to China, and he had been teaching the kids there, and they went on a short vacation. This was
Welcome.
in the hotel, the Star Hotel. You read it.
Welcome to our star hotel. Please obey the Chinese rules during your stay in our
Staying.
hotel. All right. Do not take drugs and go whoring.
Your mom told us to write this to you because she was a little worried.
I'll go and get drunk and start whoring. Or stealing sunglasses.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you for staying in our hotel. Please do not take drugs and go whoring.
Wow.
On Chinese hotel
Sit up
stationery.
straight and don't chew with your mouth open. That's funny.
Well, it also tells you a little bit about the clientele of the hotel that they felt compelled to have to issue this concern.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly.
We've had so many arrests that we felt like we should just warn you in advance.
Does everybody know Cards of Humanity?
Cards Against Humanity?
Yeah,
I think so.
Do you know the game? It's like really crazy, and we've learned it, and we've played it with our friends, and we always have a good time. And then they have all these different versions that get a little
Crabs
racy.
Against Humidity is the latest, which
Right,
we love.
right. And so the company has done something. I've never heard of anyone doing this before. It has to do with real estate, and we'll tell you what it is coming up.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you'll find out that you can get a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600. Fink and McGregor, also by the Vein Clinic. If you go to theveinclinic.com, you can schedule an appointment and find out some amazing options for pain-free removal of varicose veins and spider veins. Your legs can look great again with the Vein Clinic. And also by Black Diamond Experts. They're experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They also have a brand new store up in Ogden now. If you'd like to reach them, you can go to blackdiamondexperts.com.
Apply today and drive away.
That's good. That's the Blazer. That's the pine tree. There's a truck back there. Let's just look up that way. I'm not sure what's there. Then we can go over here. Look that way. Now, if you look really carefully, you're going to have to put your computer on pause. Where is it? See that right in the center of the screen? See that brown thing? Yeah. Well, they get really tired of the gooses and the geese landing in this pond, and they go and they take dumps all over their golf course. So what they have here is they have cutouts of coyotes that they use, and they put them there and they scare the geese away, supposedly. So, because you can't just hurt those animals. Hang on one second. I got it. Where'd the city go? Oh, there it is. There we go. No harm. No foul. Okay, good. All right. Did you miss me? I like the mountain cam. The fake coyotes. Every time we drive here with my daughter, she goes, "There they are." Erin tried to tell her that they were just cutouts. She goes, "No, they're moving." So I agree with Zoe. And yeah, okay.
I think this is delightfully random. Cards Against Humanity.
I think it's hilarious.
It's downright offensive sometimes. We
Sometimes
all know
it
that.
is,
And,
yeah.
But it's hysterical. There's something so wonderfully funny about finding out the weird stuff that entertains your friends.
Basically, one person reads a card asking a question. You have 5-7 cards each, and you give them the answer that's on the card that you think is funny enough that that person who had that card will pick you, and you get a point.
I always lose this one. It's very sad. Well, they come up with a new weird holiday promotion every year, and this time they've done Cards Against Humanity Saves America, and here's what they've done. They
This is so
purchased a
weird.
plot of vacant land on the border of the United States and Mexico, which is one of the prime spots, I guess, of traffic.
Well, that's where a wall would go.
And this is where Trump would be building his $40 billion border wall. So they basically
they
said...
bought a lot of property.
He says, "We've purchased quite a lot of vacant land on the border, and we've retained a law firm specializing in eminent domain to make it as time-consuming and as expensive as possible for the wall to get built on our land." They said, "If you would like to fork over $15 of your hard-earned cash, we'll send you 6 surprises in the month of December, including an illustrated map of the land and some new cards."
Oh, that's
So
funny.
they're like, "And we'll use the money to purchase more border plots of land."
Oh my God.
No matter what your feeling is on it,
Right.
on the wall, it's
That's
just
funny.
funny. Because
That's
it's just
funny.
like, what should we do this year?
Yeah.
What should we do?
I got an idea. Put your beer down. What is it? That kind of
So
thing.
there you go.
All right, it's time for information.
All right, Daisy's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, there's like a short 4-minute quiz, and at the end, it will spit out all these awesome mortgage options for you, and someone can call you back within the next business day. It's Mortgages Made Simple. Also by the Vein Clinic. I just had a procedure there last week, and I was stunned. I was there checking messages while they're working on my leg. It was so easy to get rid of varicose veins. You can learn more at your consultation by contacting them at theveinclinic.com. Also by Black Diamond Experts. They are experts at electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They also have a new place up in Ogden now for you folks up in Weber County. Just go to blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, what's going on today?
Good morning, Todd and Erin. Hello again, everyone. Here's a look at national and world news Friday, November 17th on GephartDaily.com. 51 million Americans will travel next week over the 5-day Thanksgiving weekend, the most in more than a decade, according to AAA's annual forecast. The group said Thanksgiving travel has increased for 9 consecutive years, and this year will see a 3% rise over 2016. AAA said it expects about 90% of travelers will go by vehicle and drive further than 50 miles between next Wednesday and Sunday. AAA said more Americans will also fly this Thanksgiving. A round-trip flight on the top 40 U.S. routes will average $157, the lowest in 5 years. And Leonardo da Vinci's Salvador Mundi sold for a world record $450 million at an auction in New York this week. The painting of Jesus Christ, known as Savior of the World in English, sold for $450,312,500, making it the most expensive painting ever sold at auction, according to auction house Christie's. It's believed Da Vinci painted the work around 1500, the same year he painted the Mona Lisa. The painting had been discovered in a small regional auction in the United States in 2005, covered with overpaints and mistaken for a copy for decades. And New Zealand police pulled over a man this week because he was driving while playing the bagpipes. The driver didn't have their hands on the wheel at the time, and he was clearly playing the instrument while driving the car, Acting Sergeant Bryce Johnson said, according to the New Zealand Herald. His fingers were going 1,000,000 miles an hour, Johnson added. However, the driver denied the allegations and said he was only playing the air bagpipes. That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to GephartDaily.com. And for now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
Alrighty, Black Diamond. I was just thinking about this because now that we're officially snowing and everything sucks, this is the time people start going, wow, I hope everything's working okay. And then you get your first heating bill and it's like $3,000 and you go, I guess my furnace isn't at peak efficiency or something. Well, here's where it's nice to have people like Black Diamond Expert on your speed dial list, because these are the guys that can come in, they're licensed, bonded, and insured. They'll go through the whole system with you, check everything, make sure it's working at peak efficiency, make sure it's safe, there's no CO2 or leakage or any problems, and then they just kind of give you a few tips on how to keep things going to make it maintain at peak efficiency. And I really like this about them because it's not just a matter of, oh, you can't learn any of this. They're like, yeah, let me show you what to do to make sure you know. And then, I mean, that's a visit well spent. And the nice thing about it is if they do have to do something to help you or fix something, it's exactly what they quote you. There will never be any sneaky overages or special charges because we all hate that a lot. Just go to blackdiamondexpert.com and you can schedule an appointment there. All right, coming up next, mutiny on the high seas
I don't believe this.
with Princess Cruises.
Is this Jack Sparrow?
You think.
Captain Jack Sparrow?
And there's certain Marvel stars that just can't keep their mouths shut. We'll tell you about it next. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, there's a short 4-minute quiz, and at the end of it, you can find a whole array of mortgage options, and someone will call you back from Fink and McGregor within the next business day. Also by Utah Credit Approval. Go to utahcreditapproval.com because they know that bad things happen to good people, but that shouldn't stop you from repairing your credit and getting a reliable automobile at utahcreditapproval.com. And also all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. John has 24/7 service because he knows that emergencies can happen any time of the day or night. And right now they have a $69 special to check out all your heating systems to make sure they're working well. Just go to allutahplumbing.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. The Todd and Erin morning stream at GetPartDaily.com. Thanks for joining us on Facebook, by the way. That's the turkey. By the way, if you go to yesterday's show, I've got the 3 steps to make this bird. Wait, that's not it. It's not finished yet. Wait for the money shot. Here we go. Come on. Put the lid back on. 3 hours.
That is a beautiful,
That's the bird.
yeah.
All right, there
That's
you go.
before and
You can go to yesterday's show and on demand and go pull it up and watch it.
Because we're always here anytime you want us.
We wait right
Creepily.
here, and every time you click the button, we reenact the show.
Right here waiting for you. Really. It's not anywhere as creepy. Yeah, it is actually really creepy.
Chipotle. Now I'm hungry again.
This is the scariest thing ever. Okay, so think about this. She lives in Brooklyn. She's a mom of two, kind of a little girl, and she's 5'3", and she had 3 friends over, and these 3 guys came in, and
3 guys.
they crawled in through the fire escape, and they broke into the house. They did a home invasion.
With them there.
Tied up the women. Thank God the kids were somewhere else. Tied up the women, put them under a blanket so they couldn't see, and then basically cleaned out the entire apartment.
Oh my God.
I mean, took everything of any possible value. So she's really shook up, and they didn't have a lot to go on except for the one guy who tied them up. And because they had a chance to look at him really closely while he's bent over and he's tying them up.
Okay,
And
all right.
she's like trying to memorize
Right.
details about him. Okay,
Right.
it's this and this.
Because usually your chance of catching people like this is like
Nil.
nil.
Yeah. I mean,
Or getting your stuff back.
yeah, the police
is-
just have so little to go on. But she said,
Right.
I'm going to memorize these details. And she did. She gave him a really good description.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just fixed in her mind because that's a terrifying moment. I mean, it's
Right.
something you couldn't remember. I mean,
Right.
that you couldn't forget even if you tried. Well, she works at Chipotle's. And she had a guy who came up and he placed his order with her. And
Oh,
she's like,
no.
yes, sir. And she looked up and she went,
Oh, that's him.
oh my God. And so she stared at it for a minute. She said, sure, we'll just get this in the fryer for you. And she said, why don't you go over there and we'll get you a free drink while you're waiting. Now, I can't imagine having that level of calm because I would either go over the counter at him
Right.
and beat the living hell out of him, or I'd be like crying and throwing stuff.
So I'm assuming.
So she's like, gets him a free fountain drink, and he apparently does not remember her. She calls police.
Of course not.
And they
Show up.
simply come and arrest him right as she's placing his big burrito down in front of him.
No burrito for you.
So not only are you arrested, you scumbag, you don't get the burrito.
So she can press
There will be no
charges.
burrito.
She can press charges. She's got 2 other witnesses.
Oh yeah,
And maybe
and
they
so
could get
probably
some
catch
stuff
the
back.
other 2 guys. Well, yeah, but even more importantly, I mean,
Home invasion.
Get rid of them. Yeah,
Home invasion, by the way, the penalty for that is like huge.
and it should be. I
It's
can't
like-
imagine anything more terrifying.
Yeah. And kidnapping and attempted kidnapping. It's like you're going away.
Why is it I am so hyper focused? Maybe because I love their burritos, but just the thought if there's no burrito for you,
Can I have
you're
it?
going to jail. But
Because I'm really hungry right now.
that's so. I don't know. Okay.
Now, Mutiny on the Bounty. First of all, great movie. I always, as a kid, wanted to go to Tahiti because of that movie.
You didn't really want to walk the plank, though, right? Or the keel hauling, because the keel hauling really did not sound like a vacation to me.
It was the women on the beach.
Okay, I understand. Well, apparently there was a cruise passenger on the Costa line that did what they actually proved, at least in their opinion, was a mutiny. He was on a cruise bound for the Vanilla Islands in the Indian Ocean. This was with his wife.
Okay.
Right? And they said there were 3 scheduled stops they had in Madagascar.
Right.
And they said, sorry, we can't stop. There's been some breakouts of a few things happening there. And you know, we just don't want you bringing any illnesses back on board.
This kind of happened on a cruise.
Our cruise too, yeah.
Because they have this fun island you do on the way out and on the way back. And you stop and it's their island. And we couldn't do there because it's too windy.
It was very sad. Well, this
We
was,
were really sad.
and see, these guys had been on, but they've been on the ship for a long time, like a week. And everybody had been like, we're getting off this ship. We're going
Right.
to walk around, take pictures, eat something great.
Right.
And it's like he said, so no, none of you can get off. And sorry, we'll give you $175 to spend on the ship instead. Sorry about that. And the guy, so this guy's standing here and he goes, Alan Jan's like, but no, the drinks here are like $25.
True.
That's like that's nothing.
Right.
We're not doing anything. And so he starts pounding like, no, we want our trip, we want our trip, we want our cruise, our
Oh,
stop.
no. Oh, no.
So he got all the other passengers to start pounding on their tables too, and they're all like going, no, you're gonna have to do something. He goes, there were 60 of us banging on our table, demanding our rights to get off the ship.
Because all you want is your feet in the sand on the beach, right?
And so they had planned to stay. Staged another protest later that evening, and so unfortunately, what happened is that the captain called the police in the Seychelles Islands, who then they boarded. They landed, docked there. I'm
Yeah.
getting the right words out. Sorry. And instead of all the passengers being able to get off and go and walk around, the police came on, took Jen and his wife off along
Yeah.
with a couple of the other people,
Yeah.
and they said, "What are you arresting me for?" And they went, "Mutiny."
Yeah. And they're on land now. Guess who's the smartest person in the world? Those people.
Yeah, but they're also in jail.
Yeah, but they got to walk on it on
I
the
guess
way to
for a minute.
jail.
But it's like he went how can that even be a charge anymore?
Mutiny.
They went, no, that's an official charge.
Did they have scurvy?
I don't know. I'm still worried about the whole keel hauling thing. But
That's funny.
he was just like, but how can that even be? And he called his attorney back at home in America, and his attorney's like, I don't even know how to file for that.
Mutiny.
How do you file for mutiny?
Was there a bounty? Mutiny.
They apparently got to arrest him and take him off the ship, and he's facing charges for mutiny.
You know, though, if you went for a job interview and they did a background check on you and it came up mutiny, you'd still get the job.
I'm pretty sure the boss would be like, that's cool. Tell me about it.
Tell me more.
I want to stage a mutiny now, except for they probably would just toss me overboard.
You tried that on our houseboat. How'd that work out for you?
I swam back eventually. You had to slow down because one of the engines went out, so that was good.
All right, so you're into the Marvel thing. You're crazy.
Oh, are you kidding? No. So they just had Thor Ragnarok, and they're about to come out with Avengers Infinity War, which is like huge. Everybody, like at Comic-Con, was just waiting for details, and they had just a few very, very small bits of a preview, and it was killing everybody inside. And God bless us, we have Mark Ruffalo, who plays the Hulk.
Right.
He's the sweetest man in the world, and a superb lack of common sense, which I love about him. For instance, during
look
Thor
at it.
Ragnarok, he had live streamed some stuff for Entertainment Weekly during the premiere, like when you're walking the red carpet and everything, except for he forgot to turn off his phone.
Next thing you know.
And he had his pocket, and he essentially live streamed most of the movie, like 2 weeks before anybody could get it.
Oh,
So
Mark.
that was a problem. And then there's Tom Holland, who's the sweet, fresh-faced boy who now plays the new Spider-Man.
Right.
And they actually had to stop letting him do interviews because he kept stumbling and slipping and saying stuff from Infinity Wars.
Oh, I see.
They're like, you can't talk anymore. He goes, no,
So after she dies,
And then there was Sebastian Stan, who plays the Winter Soldier. So
Okay.
he was at one of the big Comic-Cons, and the people are having him sign some gear. And someone had one of the new promotional posters from Infinity Wars, and he drew a mustache on Chris Evans, of course, plays Captain America. He drew a mustache on his face and then went, "Ag, I'm Nomad," and then signed it. And it's like,
that's part of the story, right?
you just, oh my God, no, anyone who knows
Okay.
Marvel, it's like you're
I know.
freaking out right now. It's like you just gave away like a key freaking part of the movie.
Right.
And so it's like the Marvel executives have actually forbade any of them to do any Comic-Cons until Infinity
Right.
Wars is over now. Because they're like, you've screwed the pooch so many times. And they're like, what? We're sorry. What did I, oh crap, I did that, huh?
In some movies, they leak some stuff to get people more enticed, but not in this case. It was, yeah.
Well, it's a lot of the stars talk about that though, the fact that you're so into the movie anyway, you've got the script all memorized, you know everything
Right.
that's happening,
Right.
and so for part of it, when you're on set, you're so used to talking about it that it's really hard to go off again and realize everyone in the world wants to trip you up.
Right.
That's their entire goal in life. Like
And
the cast of The Walking Dead doesn't even like doing interviews anymore because they say
Yeah.
we're going to
stuff
get
will come
fired
out.
if anything gets dropped, and that's all people want to do. But I love Mark Ruffalo.
Maybe it's just the head injuries that they receive during their fights that make them that way.
That could be.
Okay, so I wanna tell you something. I wanna hopefully adjust your feeling about today for you, or this weekend coming up. A lot of people.
That it's going to be cold and snowy and miserable.
It could be. Challenges, and you're like, oh, I had a hard day, and then, work didn't go well, and my car broke, and my tooth hurts. And,
Should have had snow tires on.
my kids got diarrhea, stuff like that. And I want you to put that in perspective, because what I'm about to show you is terrifying. Has to do with surfing. We were talking about this earlier. And
I'm sorry, this guy's like a boss.
he's
though.
wearing a wetsuit because it's wet on the inside now. Watch the fin.
Okay, that's not completely terrifying.
We're just going to leave you with this image, so don't worry about the diarrhea.
No, you've got to see
You
the
guys
footage
have
from
a
it.
great day as he's bitten, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday morning right here at GepardDaily.com.
Wilson finished that rock at 6.67. Finished the grade at 6.67. Oh! There's something late on McKinney. There's something late on McKinney.
I'm happy to not even compete ever again. Like, seriously, like to walk away from that, I'm just so stoked. And Oh man. Oh. I was just sitting there. I was just about to like just start moving, and then I felt something grab, like got stuck in my leg rope, and I like instantly just jumped like away, and then it just kept coming at my board, and I just was like kicking and screaming, and wow.
See some teeth? You get some teeth?
I just saw fins. I didn't see the teeth. I was waiting for the teeth to come at me as I was swimming. I was like, ah!
Did you get a couple punches in?
I punched it in the back. Yeah.